100 children to do. This year the Queen Quet, co-founder of the Gullah Geechee Nation International Music and Movement Festival. This year, we coming to Fort Lauderdale and down to Fort Lauderdale in Florida and Gwine over to Grand Bahama Island. 100 children, you have to join with y'all, because this year gonna be the Gullah Geechee Seminole Maroon Reunion. Ha! It's gonna be a time. Come join me, children. This your time on Gullah Geechee Nation News. We want to give you a chance to look in to where we story come from. Plenty of time 100 children the yeti, but we as Gullah Geechee and things like that, the yeti but the cotton, the rice, and rather was the indigo. But you know, yeti but we architectural skills. 100 the yeti but the tabby and things like that. Yes, I am standing in the midst of a tabby edifice. Tabby is made from oyster shells, sand, lime, and water in equal parts. Many of our ancestors constructed buildings, entire houses, from tabby during chattel enslavement. So today, this is a rare historic site because it's very few times that today you can find one whole building, much less a row of buildings that are made out of tabby. A lot of times when walking through what people call the woods today, all right, people will go ahead and find walls that remain of what used to be a whole building. And so sometimes when we look at things today, we don't take that opportunity to think about what was it like before I came along. So today, we want you to take that journey and look through the windows of time and look at our story that's here in Florida. How 100 children to do? This year the Queen Quet, one more again, upon this year Gullah Geechee TV Nation News. Well, look here, 100 children. This year episode, you know, we to take on a down the coastline of one of the day from Carolina or up the coastline and things like that, one of the day from Florida. Because we there upon the Florida coastline. Plenty of time 100 children that think that you only come Florida for going down yonder and see the big mouse in them and ride and things like that, or you just come in Florida so you go to the beach. But plenty of time 100 children miss the culture what they are, because you not stop, you not crack your teeth with nobody, you not pay no attention to some of the brown sign what 100 to see all over the place. Well, the day me to carry 100 to some place that you shouldn't forget if you don't come to Florida, yeah? So look here, where are they at now? This year the one the first plantation, 100 should have yet about around here. This year the Kingsley plantation. Some 100 children who don't read some of work and things like that, when we took down upon the paper, you know about Gullah Jack. Well, this year been one of the first place where Gullah Jack been at, after they teeth him and bring him here from way over in the motherland. Gullah Jack going from here to way up in Charleston, South Kakalaki. But you know one thing? Today, 100 can still come up on Kingsley and see all of these your tabby, what people are called ruins and things like that. But these your big cabins. These are the way we ancestor them be there. They're the one who built all of this here. So sometime when 100 to travel up and down the road, you have to go on a little bit further off the road. Go to where the dot they at. Let a dot road carry you down and carry you back through we story. So 100 children, this year, the what going on. Imagine walking into a doorway, not knowing where you're going, not knowing who's going to be inside, not knowing if after you enter in it, you'll ever come back out. Imagine coming into a small space, having 20 other people there, 10 other people there. Imagine not having anything else to heat or cook with but a fireplace. Yes, these are true realities of the existence that our ancestors endured. So trust me, if today you have more than that, you should give thanks. Because they worked hard and long and were strong to be able to produce you who has to continue with that strength and that power and energy today. Some of us today won't have 20 visitors, much less 20 residents in the same house, 10 in the same house. So just imagine you and your whole family, you and essentially your village, your community, sandwiched together. But even more than the fireplace keeping you warm is the spirit of connection and staying together that kept you alive, kept you thriving, even in a place where you weren't sure if you were ever going to leave out of it. So, Hunter Chilla, this year the Queen Quet, and this year the Gwine. This is Kingsley Plantation. Many of you might have read about Zephaniah Kingsley, who did a lot in the transatlantic slave trade business, not only from here in Florida, but also connecting with Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston, of course, was the first of the cities, one might call it, of the colonies where the transatlantic slave trade was booming. In fact, Charleston was the #1 slave auction block in all of what is now considered the United States of America. The #1. So when people think about that, they only think about direct sales there. But you need to think about the entire coastline of what is now the Gullah Geechee Nation and the intercooptivity of the cultures that was then brought over and then co-opted, taken, and utilized to rebuild other areas, such as this one here in Florida, that is now a National Historic Site and is part of the National Park Service. Kingsley Plantation and Zephaniah Kingsley's history has been documented because of different things that he wrote down during his lifetime, but also in enslavement records and journals that you can find in many archives. And many people don't dig that deep. But as I always tell you, Hunter must take care of the root for heal the tree. So Hunter Chillin going to have to get the tools for dig deeper. Now there was a woman here, Anna Geechee, who was an African girl when she was kidnapped and sold, and then Zephaniah bought her and brought her here. And so many of the people who are still living in the Jacksonville area, Amelia Island area, Yulee area, many could trace their ancestry back to this plantation, Kingsley Plantation. But many times when they do that tracing, they don't actually realize the connection to Gullah Geechee, our story and culture. But it is here and it is alive in the city that's outside of this plantation even today. One person that went also, that made that connection between here and Charleston was, as I mentioned earlier, Gullah Jack. And many of you who read some of my writings, you've read about Gullah Jack. Gullah Jack Pritchard is what you find his name to be. Sometimes you'll read about Cooter Jack. Well, during one of the times of upheaval here, he left from this plantation and eventually got recaptured and somehow resold into a plantation in Charleston. But he later became the right-hand man to Denmark Vesey, or Denmark Vesey, some people pronounce his name, who became a freedman because he won a lottery and then bought his freedom. So there's a lot to our story that connects the length and the breadth and the distance much longer than even this row of still remaining tabby cabins that our ancestors made. But there's one thing for you to see me here, and it's another thing for you to come here and feel the energy and the spirits here yourself. So the next time you're coming down the Florida coast, make sure to stop by. So Hunter Chilla can yeti what we chose for true and things like that. Because Hunter Chilla, this year, and what Gwine on.